Scoot your butt just a little bit. I know. Cam has cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegia, which basically means that the limbs don't stay in control. He's had seizures since he was 2. He went through something called status epilepticus when he was 8, 9, and 10, where you couldn't stop the seizures, and we were in the hospital.
If we both have the same defect or the same abnormality on the same gene, and those genes combine, then it results in a syndrome like Dubowitz and results in Scotty. So sort of sets the parameters for the fact that he's got developmental delays and can have a wide range of both medical and developmental issues associated with it.
Can you say thank you? Say thanks. It wasn't until day 3 a set of twins were born, and the geneticist came in to check on the twins and looked at Jack and asked if he has Down syndrome. And the nurses were like, no, he doesn't have Down syndrome. What are you talking about? So we're like, okay, yeah, run the test. That's great. And then they came back right before we left the hospital, and nobody believed it.
There's a crack in the door, see a sorrowful sweetness asleep in the sand. Something not unnoticed, a clock on the wall. Hear the hands turning louder than I've ever heard. Before it turns morning, you'll open your eyes. See the night as it's fading, today you will rise. Leave no eye, await thee.
Special Surfers has been around for 13 years. One of my friends was working with special needs kids on the autism Asperger spectrum, and she asked me if I would take some kids out surfing, and I said, sure, why not? I hadn't heard of any other programs at that point, and I said, let's give it a go. And we had so much fun with it that we were hooked on it. And we took 3 kids out. And then the next year it was, 23 kids, and then 50 kids. And now we have openings for over 100. Special Surfers is a program to bring any kind of special needs kid out surfing, show them the stoke, bring them out where they shine.
I would argue that it's even more important for children with neurodevelopmental disability to have learning experiences out in the world than it is for typical children. They can't follow that same typical pathway as easily.
We got involved with Special Surfers 7 years ago via one of Ben's behaviorists at school, who said if you're looking for something fun to do that would be enriching for your child, go to the beach tonight.
We try to have 2 volunteers per physically able child, and then 8 volunteers for the kids in the wheelchairs. Most of our volunteers have a lot of experience with the program. A lot of those kids are not supposed to get their face wet, and we don't want them to jump, and we don't want anything to happen. So we have the most experienced surfers, lifeguards, people that work with special needs kids and adults. We call it special ops, and it is.
Take on 3. 1, 2, 3. Right. Let's go. Find a child. Let's go surfing.
Barbara Bush loves to walk on Kennebunk Beach, and one evening she was walking, and we had about 60 to 80 kids out surfing and volunteers for every kid. She put our name in for the Points of Light Award, and we did receive the award, and It's a pretty high honor.
It is such an amazing program. Nancy has done unbelievable things for the kids.
About every 3 hours throughout the day, he has to be straight cast. He doesn't move on his own. He has to be lifted from one place to the next. He goes on a feeding pump at night. 99% of his seizures happen at night. He constantly will have to be readjusted if he has a seizure because, he thrashes so hard. He can have a heart attack at any time because of his long-term seizures.
He does some grabbing and that gets frustrating. You don't want to be out around people and have him doing that to other people and then pushing them away because they don't want to be near him.
In terms of, surprising somebody or touching their face or grabbing their clothes or the front of their shirt.
My biggest day-to-day struggle with Jack is that I have a child who's 13 that I have to watch. And I don't mean that in a resentful way. I mean that he'll do inappropriate things. For example, he'll decide he's all done swimming and start to take his bathing suit off poolside in the public pool. All things that are typical for the developmental age he is, but atypical for a 13-year-old.
There's a lot of things going on in their brain, and for them to focus fully on surfing is really great for them, and you can see the difference. And for the kids that are physically incapable, the kids that live in a wheelchair, imagine life in a wheelchair and then somebody takes you out surfing. There's a lot of things going on. You're moving all over the place, so your brain is kind of trying to adjust. You're learning new things, and that boring life in the wheelchair has just changed exponentially to life in a rocket ship.
Trying to learn how to balance on a surfboard, whether you're standing, sitting, or in a special chair, and then putting that surfboard on an ocean where it's going back and forth as well as up and down, is all of a sudden going to give that nervous system, that brain of that child, a whole lot more information to try to process. Activities that allow you to experience not knowing where your body is in space allows you to develop proprioception. Things in their vision are now moving as well. And that occipital lobe has to be processing visual information that's different from whatever visual information they had previously experienced. You could take the same argument for hearing. You could make the same argument for smell and for taste if they taste the salt water. The more we give them from a sensory standpoint, the more their brain can rewire and learn new pathways to change behavior and adjust motoric movements in the future. In some degree, you could argue then that something like surfing is almost like physical therapy. And certainly, any person typically developing or with a neurodevelopmental disability is going to get these different sensory experiences from the ocean that just aren't available in any other place in our world.
It's magical to watch. There's no other beautiful special niche like when he's on that board in the water. It's good for everyone. It's so therapeutic. I've seen the success. I've seen several children that have come to the beach that are unable to communicate or reach out and connect with other human beings, but they can get up on that board and they're connecting with themselves. They're connecting with nature. They're connecting with water. And I think no matter what your label or disability is, it's great for everybody. I would recommend it to everyone.
The kids feel like they're finally part of a group. They have a club that they belong to because a lot of these kids don't feel like they fit in. And then there's the volunteer community that has the best time coming down and helping. A lot of these people, this is their first interaction with handicapped people. And this is a good way for us to bring the physically able and mainstream people into their world and integrate it and let each person realize what the other person's life is like.
I think that society as a whole needs to be exposed to the breadth and depth of what humans are. And that includes, obviously, not only things like gender and race and religion, but also neurodevelopmental ability. And so the more that everybody in society experiences all the differences, I think the better off we are as a whole.
We're changing my son's life and all the lives of the participants, but passerbys are seeing all of these children with all of these different needs in a brand new light, realizing that, one night a month is kind of spidering and fingering out and changing the perception of a lot of people.
It's not somebody else's kids. It's your neighbors, your friends, and your siblings, and your relatives, and your nieces and nephews, and it's people we know. Everybody is affected. They all kind of come together and they all experience their child being excellent and accepted for who they are, and nobody's looking at them like, oh, control your kid or whatever. Your kid doesn't need to be controlled here. Your kid needs to get out of control. That's the whole idea.
A family that has a child with a major neurodevelopmental problem, they have to navigate our society and our culture in a much different way than a family with typically developing children. So you feel like you're, a little bit alone in the world, that you're different from everybody else, and that you're not sure what the future holds. And when you have an event like this, you get to have this really amazing experiences, not only for the children who are out there surfing, but for their parents watching them and being a part of it. You also put together 100 families at the same time who are all out there on the beach and learning about this together and experiencing this as a community as well. So I think that is just as valuable, to the kids who are out there surfing as the actual experience of surfing.
The beach is just crowded with goodness and joy. It's amazing to see.
Dr. Gano took me aside and he's like, you need to be concerned about quality of life. And you need to really consider the things that you do and make sure that he has quality of life. And I walked outside and I was like, okay, let me just replay that in my mind. And I'm like, did he really just tell me that this is going to kill my child?
What is his life expectancy, and what is that life going to look like, 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the road? I think that's a huge unknown.
Because he's always going to need the services he gets now, and that doesn't always continue on. But I want at least one of us to outlive him. So I know he was taken care of by us.
When he was 4, we didn't know if he'd read. When he's 8, we didn't know if he'd be on swim team in middle school. And, he's doing all those things. So we hope it continues, but I think it's too early to know for sure. He'll be surfing. So.
You see what a struggle it is for them sometimes to process daily life and the struggles that people go through, parents and the kids. They can't really process everything that's coming at them. And when I see them out in the water, they got it. And it's a world that they can understand and that they can have fun with. And they rock it. They take it and they run with it. It's great. A lot of these kids are so bright inside and they just have clouds blocking the way. There are so many instances and examples of kids that have so much going on inside and they just can't get it out. How frustrating would that be?
Certainly it's not freeing, and I don't mean that metaphorically, like bound by the chains of Down syndrome or anything. I just mean, an adult dictates pretty much what he does all the time, either at school or at home. And out there, it's a singular mission, and it's to ride as many waves as he can before they yank him out of the water because he's shivering and his lips are blue. So I just think it's just something completely different than anything he could possibly do.
It all is what's allowing him to walk, allowing him to be able to sit up, and just these basic physical movements that I think a lot of us take for granted, that all these activities, whether he knows it or not, are all contributing to that development for him. And plus, I think just being connected to the ocean and the things that I don't even think we necessarily understand how that affects us. So how does it affect him? I'm not sure, but I know it does, because we can see him when we get to the beach. He just lights up and he knows what's coming.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the surf or the wind or the waves or the motion. He's just so calm, and it's like he's just zen. The whole rest of the world is just kind of gone. But I know that surfing does that for a lot of people with special needs or without, to get out there and kind of feel the waves and be one with the water, and let Mother Nature kind of dictate your plan. I know a lot of people feel that way.
He's just so peaceful. He's so peaceful and he's so happy. And he's successful. It's the one little niche that he's independent from autism. He's independent from his mother. He's independent from caregivers and teachers. He's just Ben, and he's successful.
Surfing is one of those things that allows me to give him the most impact. Joy. Freedom. There is no freedom for him. He is constantly stuck in his own mind. He has no way to communicate his needs. Besides all the medical issues, all of the doctor's appointments, 9 specialists, everything that we have to do. And he gets to surf.
It was pretty incredible, and I knew he was going to have a good time, and I knew that he was going to be doing this for a long time.
And he fell off the board a few times, and he would come up spitting out the seawater just laughing, so we knew he was having fun.
He's just so at peace. He clearly was in an element that he enjoyed, that he'd never been in before, that we would not be able to replicate in any other setting. It's really a transformation. He's just a completely different child when he's surfing.
Wetsuit on, and I was standing in the water with one of my friends, and I'm like, hey, I'm putting him on a wave. The waves are really big. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm panicking now. I'm like, this is, and Nancy comes over and she's like, I think he's gonna surf. And I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna have a coronary myself. Just then, he came off the first wave, and he was sitting there, and he was just kind of looking, and he went and gave the sweetest grin, and I was like, he loved it. I'm like, might be worth the risk. I haven't seen him, smile and react to something like that. It makes him smile, and he finds joy in it. That's quality.
You'd see their faces, you'd know.
Just put one foot in front of the other. You'll make it out, you'll make it out. Just trust in me,
to have people not push them aside or take a look at them and their needs or their disabilities and not see their abilities or see the potential.
In a land full of limitations and labels and diagnoses and parameters and boxes, it's the one time that Ben is up on a board and he's soaring. He's not anything. He's not autism. He's not ADHD. He's not an IEP with a million modifications. He's just a boy on a board soaring free.
It's an enlightening experience, and he gets to be free. He gets to go out and he gets to do something that we never thought was possible. Come off a wave and smile. That's enough for me.
Don't let me down today. Don't let me down. When you get to the top of that canyon,